Hi, gang. Somebody once said that everybody knows that a tomato is fruit, and that's knowledge. A tomato is fruit, but wisdom is knowing that you don't put a tomato in a fruit salad. I'm Doug Ford. I'm pastor Calvary Chapel, Sweetwater, and I wanted to bring you another wisdom snack from the book of Proverbs today. Uh, there is a difference between knowledge and wisdom, and we live in an age when knowledge is crazy. It's grown so amazingly that you can Google anything, that you can get on the internet and seemingly find anything. And but yet we seem to be a people that no longer possess wisdom, that don't know what to do with all of this knowledge that we have. We have this tremendous uh, of, availability of so much knowledge at our fingertips, and yet we seem uh, less and less able to deal with it and know how to do it, know how to apply it to our lives. It's fascinating that you see fewer and fewer people read, but more and more people get their information from social media, from the internet, from things that even are unreliable in many ways. Fewer and fewer people, uh, most people that claim to be Christian don't read their Bible, don't believe that the Bible is God's word, and so you're at a distinct disadvantage when they reject the wisdom that is available to them through the Bible. The scriptures say that to a wise man will increase hear and increase his learning, and so it is a wise man that wants to learn. That this is the way God made us. This is something about the creature that God created to desire to learn more, to know more, and He gives us a hunger and a thirst for certain things, and it's a little different for all of us. And so, a wise man will hear and increase that learning, will pursue that learning, and a man of understanding will attain wise counsel. So, part of that learning is to even get counsel from those elders, from those that have went before, those that have had done the things and gone before us and learned those hard lessons. So it is wise to hear from those counselors that have already walked that path of life and that we can receive from them. And so there's wisdom in that, in attaining that counsel, and we should take advantage of that wisdom. To understand a proverb and an enigma. An enigma would be sort of a proverb that is a satirical sort of understanding behind it. That is satire, has a little dig to it. Uh, and I think of just sort of the wisdom and the thought that the other day someone passes a group of cars on the internet on the right, on the shoulder. In their mind, they think they are smarter than everybody else, taking advantage of a lane that is for them, that others don't have the smarts or the wisdom or whatever it takes. And for those that possess wisdom know that that is crazy, that is insane, and that person is rushing headlong toward disaster. And so that is to put that in sort of the understanding of proverb is that we stay in our lane, even though sometimes that causes us to go slower, that we don't arrive as soon, but we arrive sure, where those making their own lane are rushing headlong to disaster. And so that is an enigma. It is a sort of a dig towards those that have wisdom understand that staying in that lane where those that don't have wisdom would do such a thing. To understand a proverb too and an enigma, the words of the wise and the riddles, and so even to have that wisdom, that knowledge, and that understanding, to be able to take the knowledge to apply it correctly to life, to know that a tomato is a fruit, but you don't put a tomato in fruit salad, is that sort of that understanding, the words of the wise, the riddles, to be able to apply those things to life. The fear of the Lord, then, verse 7, is the beginning of knowledge. But fools despise wisdom and instruction. It's the fear of the Lord. It's to the very things that the Lord put in us, a call to build, to attain, to seek knowledge, to invent, to write books, to write poetry, to make music, to do all of these things. Those are all things that God built into his creature. And when those things are done in the presence of God, that there's a wisdom that comes from that, a knowledge from attaining those things that he made us in the presence of our Creator, of doing it all in that context of doing it in the presence of God versus chasing the knowledge of the world, of taking that calling that God has put in his creation, but pursuing it for our own benefit and doing it in the context of the world. It's the same type of knowledge, but there's never a wisdom attained because they've rejected that knowledge in the context of the Lord, to use it in the way that he gave it to us, in the way that he created us to receive that and to act upon that knowledge in his presence, but to act on that very same sort of in an innate sense to seek after knowledge, but never attaining wisdom because of doing it in the context of self, of attaining something within the world. And it's all such a small little world, such a small context of me and my life and what it does for me. And then you do crazy things like putting a tomato in fruit salad. And I joke about that, but we see such a crazy application of knowledge in the world where we look at some of the things going on and say, this is insane. How can anybody think that's right? But they don't have a fear of the Lord. They don't have sort of that underlying foundational context to really understand the things that God has given us, the blessing God has given us. We must hold on to wisdom. We must pursue wisdom. We must take this knowledge and apply the knowledge of the Scriptures and the knowledge that God allows us to have for us, and let it nourish our life. And so that's your wisdom snack for today. Enjoy your snack, and if you love these snacks, if they speak to you, hit the subscribe button, click on the little bell, and you'll get notification when more wisdom snacks come your way. And thanks for joining me today. I'm Doug Ford, and I'm just trying to bring the Bible to life for you. Thanks for joining me.